Shalom, call halayim la Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakwadash, double honors unto our apostles and elders at Great Millstone that rule well. Much peace and blessings to all you essential Akim out there that's pushing this 100% truth with all sincerity, faith, and with charity. This is your brother Ash Bahakat from the Great Millstone Miami Camp coming at you with another lesson. Lord willing is edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. And in this lesson, I want to go into this article, okay, that you see going into the economic crisis caused by this pandemic has dramatically altered how Americans are living their lives. Okay, posted February 14th. Okay, this is on the economic collapse blog.com. All right, written by Michael Snyder. You know, this guy, he writes a lot of good articles on this on these type of subjects, you know, different prophetic headlines, you see. And this is 2021, man, the year of hastening the day of the coming of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, okay, loosely. And this title perfectly goes with that. All right, the economic crisis caused by this pandemic has dramatically altered how Americans are living their lives. You see, drastic changes have and are and will continue to increase, okay, in the lives of these everyday average people. Okay, the powers that be, the so-called elite, the so-called Illuminati, Rothschilds, Rockefellers, these different groups of you know, the 1%. They're making big changes, man, and efforts to fulfill their new world order agenda, which they're all moving to the tune of prophecy, according to the tune of the word of the Lord, okay, that foretold of these times. So everything is going according to plan, just as the scriptures say, just as the prophets have been warning you people, okay, day in, day out, week in, week out, for decades, starting with our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And we've seen everything coming down to the wire, everything coming down to the pipe, as it says. First off, let me I don't want to butcher this, but I didn't have this, so let me get it. I open up with this before we get in the article. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. What vision? The vision of the end, the great destruction, okay, the great destruction right before the time where our Lord and Savior, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, okay, whose true name is Yahweh Shai, okay, the Messiah, Yahweh Shai Mashiach, all right, an Israelite from the tribe of Judah, comes and delivers his people, the elect of the nation of Israel, okay. And right before that moment, right before that day, you're gonna have a serious chain of events to take place leading up to that destruction, you see. And that time, that appointed time, is here. But at the end it shall speak and not lie. So that vision that Habakkuk saw, that Isaiah saw, that Jeremiah saw, that Daniel saw, that John the Revelator saw, all these different prophets and men of the Lord from of old, they saw these different they saw everything that's happening right now, you see. And they had different the Lord showed them different ways or different visions, but at the end of the day, it was all the same vision: the destruction of Babylon the Great. Okay, the return of our Lord. That's the times that we're living in. And the signs are speaking. The signs are here. That's how we know. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So it's not lying. It's plain and in your face what time we're actually living in. You see? Though it may take long, it's not going to take long. So let's get into this article. All right. It says, this seemingly endless CV pandemic is causing immense stress for millions of ordinary Americans. In past articles, I have discussed the fact that surveys have shown that Americans are drinking more alcohol and taking more drugs during this pandemic. And why is that? Because the people are through. They have no hope. You see, they're trying to cope. Like people saying the word, they're trying to self-medicate. All right. Even more alarming, we have seen suicide rates spike over the past 12 months as well. Sadly, this isn't just happening here in the U.S. All over the globe, more people are ending their own lives during this pandemic. But of course, most people aren't going to go that far. Instead, most people are just going to quietly struggle along. But in the process, many of them are making huge changes to their lifestyles. And they're going to list some of these things. And we're just going to skim through it. You know, I'm not going to read the whole article word for word. I'm going to just hit the points and, do some brief speaking on it and get straight to the scriptures. But this is all biblical prophecy. This is the vision speaking and not lying. You see, as it also says in Ezekiel, the 33rd chapter, when these things come to pass, lo, it will come. Then shall they know that it was a prophet amongst them. You see, for the longest, people thought that the prophets were crazy, out of their minds. Things that we were saying were so far-fetched and could never happen. But now we're seeing that all these things are actually true. And not only are they true, that we're seeing that you people are controlled. You're walking to the tune of prophecy. You can't resist what's going on. It directly affects you. You see? Which shows the power of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. Nobody is exempt from his word and his power. Okay? For example, this pandemic appears to be greatly affecting both marriage and divorce rates. Here are just a couple examples, okay? And it just says, in Oregon, divorces in the pandemic months of March through December were down 24%. Okay, so divorce and marriage is being affected. Okay. It says, I can understand why so many Americans are putting off marriage right now. A wedding can be extremely expensive, you see? And many Americans may be hesitant to permanently tie the knot with so much economic uncertainty in our future. Okay, so that's one example. People don't want to get married no more. The relationship between man and woman is being affected, you see? And amongst these alphabet people as well. Okay, but why are divorce rates down by so much? Okay, that is a very good question. Limited access to courts during the lockdowns was certainly one factor, right? A lot of people couldn't get their licenses, updated and different things of that nature because the courts were closed. You see, many Americans are also concerned about what a divorce would mean for them financially, right? Some men are more afraid to divorce their wives because they trying to hold on. What they say is cheaper to keep her, and that saying is more true now than ever. Okay. Let's see. Meanwhile, this pandemic has also caused more Americans than ever to put off having children. In fact, birth rates are way down all over the country. That's another aspect. People don't want to have children. Wow. At the beginning of this pandemic, some had suggested that we may see a baby boom, but it appears that we are experiencing a baby bust instead. Right, which a lot of people still are having children too, which the scriptures speak on that, and we're going to get that too, Lord willing. But you know, that goes for a lot of these different Edomites and people that are used to having money. You see, Jake has been, you know, being broke has never really stopped Jake from having children like that. You always Jake will be dead broke and have children. So it's really talking about these Edomites and these other nations that actually plan to have children. You know, Jake just be popping out children left and right, rich or broke, you know, it doesn't matter. You see, but that's a sign of that the so-called white man is going down, man. When they choosing not to procreate because they can't afford it, that shows you this man is going out. The rising cost of living is causing a tremendous amount of stress for ordinary Americans as well. Thanks to the crazy spending that Congress has been doing and the reckless money printing that the Federal Reserve has been engaged in, right, with these different stimulus deals, right? They're just printing money out of thin air, okay? Literally out of thin air, causing the dollar to lose even more value, which is going to raise the cost of living. You see, the money supply is skyrocketing and prices are aggressively rising all over the country, which that's called what? Inflation, which is going to lead to hyperinflation further down the line, man. As you can see, the gas prices is going right back up like it was back in, you know, 2012. You know, around that time, it's about to hit back $3 again. And down here where I'm at in Florida, you see. Let's see what else. You're talking about gas and natural gas and these different places people experiencing higher bills and whatnot. This is a reminder of what can happen when things get crazy. If a short-term cold spell can cause this much chaos, okay, I guess they're talking about people can't afford heat. All right. In which Yahushua said, let not your flight be in the winter. You see, right now it have had a bunch of blackouts in Texas, and they blamed it on the cold messing up the wind turbines and the solar panels. You see, with more blackouts and power outages, things of that nature is coming. Other Americans don't need to worry about heat in their homes because this pandemic has forced them to live in their vehicles. Americans are being driven into their vehicles by pandemic fueled woes. Which that's a biblical word, woes, man. And their ranks are likely to grow as the government safety net phrase and evictions and foreclosures rise. All right. Particularly on the West Coast, government officials have been setting up huge parking lots where those that live in their vehicles can sleep safely at night. Wow. You see, so more evictions too. People getting kicked out of their homes. So those are just a few few ways that many Americans' lives are being changed, showing us these are all signs of the end. Okay, the end of the era of the so-called white man, who biblical nationality is Esau, Edom, and his empire. Okay, his structure, his power system on the planet Earth, and everything that revolves around it. You see, and 2/3 of our people, the so-called Blacks, Latinos, Native Americans here in Babylon the Great, all right, here in the so-called United States of America, are going down with them, because they have made this place their stronghold. They put their trust in this place and their confidence in this place. You see, and have not put their trust in the Lord. So they haven't, as the scriptures say, okay, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places unto all generations, roughly paraphrasing, going for the so-called white man. And the majority of them have never accounted for a time like this. And the same goes for the wicked of our people. They thought this place was going to continue. That's why they call it unprecedented times. They never thought something like this would ever happen. They never thought that they would have to live like this. But it's here, you see? And there's nothing they can do about it, and it's going to get worse. So let's get into the scriptures, man. Because the scriptures told us first. You see, they have a term in the world called Teotwaki, meaning the end of the world as we know it. A lot of people think that the end of the world means that the whole earth is just going to blow up. Well, no, that's not so. When the scriptures speak about the end of the world, they speak about the end of an age, okay, the end of an eon. All right? And that's what we're witnessing, the changing of this world as we know it. You see? But this is 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 29. But this I say, brethren, the time is short. Right, the time before the little time that we have left before the end of all things. It remaineth that both they that had wives be as though they had none. You see, and that goes for us in this truth, that we may have wives, you know, and families, but we can't be all up into our wives and our families, because we have to be more concerned about doing this work. You see, we're not going to be able to do this work in the kingdom. We're not going to be able to do this work when all hell breaks loose. You see, the Lord has given us a grace period with this short time that we have left to get ourselves in order and do the work so that we can get the blood off our hands, you see. But that also goes for these people in the world. You see, we read about people don't want to get married. Oh, this Yahushua said what? Because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. A lot of people not looking to get married. A lot of people not worried about their wives. Well, a lot of women ain't worried about their husband. Why? Because it's dog eat dog. It's getting bad out here. You see? Verse 30. And they that weep as though they wept not, and they that rejoice as though they rejoice not, and they that buy as though they possess not. You see? Because we got to be in the spirit of just passing through. We just passing through. We're not looking to make a life here in this place. And many more, which we've been in that spirit. And now you got many people, average everyday Americans, adopting that mindset because they see that there's no future here. A lot of people talking about, you know, just going out into the woods and forget about their 9-to-5 jobs, you know. start your little small business or something and break away from the system because they seeing that the system is failing. The so-called American dream. You see? Verse 31, and they that use this world as not abusing it. Right, we still use this world. We get what we need for our day-to-day. As Yahweh Shai said, give us this day our daily bread. That's what we do what we have to do to make it through the day. Right? For the fashion of this world passeth away. You see, in the fashion of this world is passing away. Matter of fact, let's look into this word fashion. What does that mean? That means the end of the world as we know it. Fashion. It says schama. The habitus as comprising everything in a person which strikes the senses. The figure, bearing, discourse, actions, manner of life. That's what we read. The manner of everyday life is being changed drastically. That's the fashion of this world passing away. That old life that people do 2019, 2018, 17, 16, 15, 14. All right, all that's gone, man. And it's not coming back. And it's going to get worse. You see? And that's just the times that we're living in, man. Okay, this is 1 John chapter 2 and 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. You see, we're not supposed to love this world. First off, knowing this truth, you know this world is gonna be destroyed. And I don't mean this earth, but the ways of this earth. Not the physical earth, but you know, the structure of it, the societal structure of it, the economic structure of it, the geopolitical structure of it. It's all getting ready to come to a complete end. But Babylon the Great, America, the so-called United States, is going to physically be destroyed. We know that according to biblical prophecy at the cusp of World War III. This whole land is going to be evaporated. You see? And it's getting to that point. You see? If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. And that's why you have mass suicide, mass people all on the drugs, you know? They can't cope with what's going on. Why? Because they love this world. They love this so much to the point where they see it passing away, they can't handle it. They feel deceived. You know? But for us who've been awaiting this, it's joyful to us to see these things come to pass. That proves that the love of the Father is in us. Verse 16, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. Right, these different average, everyday things that people love to do and have all these different freedoms they had to get up and do their wickedness. They can't do a lot of those things anymore. A lot of things people still can do. That's why people still have liberty right now. But they can see that their hope is dwindling. You see, and America, this place has lost its fun, man. It's lost its juice. You see, people are they trying to force the the enjoyment and the excitement. It's not there anymore. The just like in a relationship, and you just and it has lost its spark. Y'all just just forcing it. It's not like how it used to be, where it was fun and exciting. You couldn't wait to see her. Everything was cool. And then now it gets to the point where every time she call you, every time she look your way, you cursing yourself out, cursing her out under your breath, or cursing out to her face. That's what's going on right now. That's what's going. That's the relationship that people are having with their lives and with the ways of this world. Why? Verse 17, and the world passeth away. This world is passing away. It's dead. Okay? It's already dead. And soon it's going to be made manifest. Okay, just like how you have somebody that's on they're on life support. They got them hooked up to a ventilator machine, and they got a machine pumping their heart for them, pumping breath into them. But the person is dead, and they just got them there. That's America right now. And the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever. Okay? So, when it's all said and done, only thing that's going to be left are the elect. Those that's been standing stiffly for the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. They're going to be able to stand in these times where everybody else is crumbling. Why? Because the scriptures say wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time. And strength of salvation, the fear of the Lord is his treasure. And none of these people have that. None of these people have been stacking up, or building their relationship with the Lord. They've made a bad investment, a very bad investment, and it's starting to show. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 40. O my people, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle. You see? That's the Lord telling his people, the Israelites, to get ready for the battle, man. Get ready for the war, the times of evil that's coming. The Lord is telling you to prepare yourself, just like a storm is coming. A hurricane is coming. The news tell you to get your supplies, board up your windows. You'll be a fool to not pay attention to the news and to get what you need and this or that. So how much more now, where the Lord is telling you that the worst times of all is coming? Get yourself together, get your family together, and you don't take heed of that. That's 2/3 of our people. They're going to get caught in the storm. All right? And in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. Okay, how does a pilgrim move? A pilgrim is on a journey. He's on a mission from one point to another point. And anything in between, that's just in between. He knows that I'm not going to be here for long. Okay? He knows where his destination is. He knows his destiny, okay? Which the word destiny goes back to make sure or make firm or stable. You see? They're fully persuaded in their own mind. They're not getting stuck or complacent, in between point A and point B. And 2/3 of our people, they have become complacent here in this place. All right, as the scriptures tell you, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. For it is polluted, it shall destroy you even with a sore destruction. And it's going to be made manifest that this place is polluted. It's being made manifest right before our eyes. Verse 41, he that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away. And he that buyeth as one that will lose. You see, what's that? That's a bad investment. All right? That's what's being made manifest to the planet Earth, man. That people have been putting all their eggs into the wrong basket, and they're losing. Verse 42, he that occupieth merchandise as he that hath no profit by it, and he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein. You see, so you're supposed to, getting what you need for the time being, and not looking for 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line. Because as Yahushua said, sufficient for the day is the evil thereof, roughly paraphrasing. You got enough to worry about today. And the average person is starting to see that. Verse 43, he that soweth as if he should not reap, so also he that planteth the vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes. So you're not looking down the line. You too focused about what's going on right now. Verse 44, they that marry as they that shall get no children, right? Didn't we read that's what's going on? The people, they not having children. See, this is biblical prophecy coming straight to pass, man. And they that marry not as the widowers. Okay? So they're not looking for them to grow old with their significant other. Verse 45, and therefore they that labor in vain. You see a lot of people seeing that their Social Security and things of that nature is being cut off. All of what they worked for over the years is coming to naught. Like it says in Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, where thou shalt say, I had no pleasure in them, roughly paraphrasing. You see? The evil days are coming. And people are realizing that their whole lives, it was a waste. Verse 46, for strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses. Okay, and that's happening right now. That's why you're seeing all these people being evicted. You got Esau Edom shutting down people's government businesses, telling them that they can't open up. But how they supposed to pay their bills? You see? So there's goods being spoiled right there. The houses being overthrown, being foreclosed on. And it's going to happen on a much higher scale in the times to come. All right, and take their children captives. All right, which that's going to happen more and more in the future. Esau, Edom, will try to give your children the jab. You know, take them and quarantine them. Take them away to some camp. You see, for in captivity and famine shall they get children. Which that's these quarantine babies. Even though with all the hell that's going on, you still have a lot of J. And now I'm a witness. You got a lot of our people that's still having children right now. It is a baby boom amongst Jake. Believe that. I'll see that with my own eyes. A lot of these people were stuck in the house for all that for all that time. They have nothing to do but to have children, have sex and have children. All right, verse 47, and they that occupy their merchandise with robbery, the more they deck their cities, their houses, their possessions, and their persons, and their own persons, the more will I be angry with them for their sin, saith the Lord. Okay? And we witnessed a serious wealth grab, destruction of the middle class. You see, and Esau is building up more and more. with his different smart cities and whatnot. You know, but the Lord is getting ready to totally destroy this shit. Okay? So Lord, when I end off with this is the book of 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. I mean, it's unexpectedly, but it's not going to be unexpected to those that's watching. Obviously, because you see what things is going on in the earth. In the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, talking about the nuclear destruction, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Right, the elements, talking about the molecular structure. Only thing that could do that is a atomic weapon. You see, also the concentrated fire from the so-called UFOs, which are the chariots. The elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. You see, the earth is going to burn. Different parts of the world, but mainly here, Babylon the Great, America, is going to be totally burnt up, and the works therein, meaning the things that people do, and the wickedness that people have done here in this society, man, is melting away right before your eyes right now, and then physically very soon. Verse 11, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons are ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? Right? So for us that know what's happening and what's going to continue to happen, what spirit should we be in? Should we be like these people, you know, losing hope and losing sight of the vision and being all downtrodden and depressed and being in a YOLO spirit? Because that's what a lot of people, they just in a YOLO spirit. A lot of Jake, they just trying to turn up and party as hard as they ever been. Why? Because they forcing it. We shouldn't be on either of those sides of the spectrum. You know, we should be patiently waiting, rejoicing, all right, fearing with trembling, and continuing to do the work. You know, knowing that we got something much better to come if we remain faithful. Verse 12, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of the Most High, right? Because that's the year that we're in. You know, waiting for the Lord to come back. Wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. Okay? So that's the spirit that we should be in, knowing that this earth is going to be changed for the better after all this destruction takes place. You see? New heavens and a new earth. The out with the old, in with the new. You see? So that's pretty much it, man. Lord, I hope this was edifying. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahweh, Ba'ashem Chakudash, double honors to our apostles and others of Great Millstone. To the next lesson, Shalom.